Let's kick it. Okay. Good evening. I didn't know you all was here. I'm looking on this screen and it says nothing. I was trying to wait for some people come on. So good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. As always, I thank you all for joining my live broadcast. I'm Al Scott with Injustice Investigations. I promise not to hold you long tonight, but we got a video a couple of nights ago about a young man. We watched it. You all have seen it. We've shared it with you. The video is very, very, very disturbing. So that's what we're going to speak on tonight. There are 18 videos out, 18 videos, and I'm going to do every one of them. It's going to be 18 nights, but I'm going to do every one of them because I don't want to miss nothing. So before we get deep up into it, I did call the Wichita Juvenile Detention Center. Tracy Taylor, love you big time. Good evening, good evening. Thank you so much. And as promised, we wanted to make contact with someone to see if they can shed a little light on what we were seeing, opposed to what was being written. We called, and here's what happened. They gave me the name of Steve Stronghouse. Steve Stronghouse gave me his number. Called Mr. Stronghouse. He answered. I didn't get an opportunity to tell him who I was and what I wanted. I said, how you doing this evening? Your phone went dead. Okay, bad connection. I'm gonna wait. Maybe he'll call me back. He don't. I called him back. He don't answer. I called him back again. He don't answer. I called him back again. He don't answer. So I called back. Get the same lady on the phone. She said, yes, we told him who you were and blase, 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 you know. I said, is there somebody else that I can speak with? Maybe he's just having a bad day or we've had bad connection. No, it doesn't go any higher than him. I said, okay. Well, what's your name? I can't give you my name. Okay. That lets me know everything that I had been thinking pertaining to Cedric C.J. Lofton was right. They have answered the video. The DA is standing by his people. He's not going to pursue any charges because the charges will not stand because of the state's stand your ground law. Well, I hope he gets to see this video, and I'm gonna tell you now, brother, you're damn lie. That doesn't apply here. Any state that has a stand your ground law, there's always going to be problems with that law because that law is very tricky. You know, I mean, it's just a maze trying to get in there. Well, can we do this and can we do that? And I know the DA know the law. I know he knows the law. Will he uphold the law? I don't know. But here's what I do know. Before we get started, every individual, hear me good. Every individual that had their hands on this young man should be charged with a homicide. Not a justifiable homicide. I said homicide. I didn't put nothing in front of it. A homicide. And since the DA don't believe the charges will stick because of the stand your ground law, the DA needs to be arrested as well. You ever notice whenever a person of color is killed by law enforcement or a person of color dies in their custody, they can always fix it up to where they didn't do anything wrong. It's always the victim, the one that's dead. It's always that individual that started this, and we were protecting ourselves. It's always that way. Miss James is on live this evening. Love you big time. We must talk about the two cases probably tomorrow, sometime in the AM. Perhaps that's my #1 source there for information. Love you big time. So, for the second time, the young man, he has mental issues. Now, you seen the video to where he was trying to, they let him out to, I think, use the phone. And from that, I guess he wouldn't go back in his cell. So they got to tussling. We did see Lofton punch the officer. His glasses came off. Okay, so down further, I think they said, I don't want to misquote anything because they love to catch me wrong. Let me see. It starts when the guards let him out of his cell. And over the next few minutes, the team gets more and more combative. Things get ugly. And while trying to get him back in his cell, you can see Lofton punch a guard in the face, knocking his glasses off. True. Can't argue with that. Video don't lie, right? Okay. So the guard then starts getting him slowly back towards his cell. They continue to tussle. Now, Lofton knocks off not one, but knocks off both guards' glasses. Hold your thought. Lofton gets one of the guards' utility belts off. Now, here's what I'm going to say to the DA, their supervisor. They can't fight. Them not made for that. They let this one little boy whoop their ass. That's what, really? He took off both their glasses and then a utility belt. You know what? If it wasn't for the video and I was in charge of that facility or the DA or whatever, I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have put my office out there because that's embarrassing. Y'all let this one little boy just beat you silly. Once other officers come and they get him in the cell, they get him in the cell, they get him inside the cell. Lofton is then face down, officers on him for more than 40 minutes. That right there, and I'm giving you the microwave version, that right there killed the standing your ground law. The law states, hear me good, the law states, whatever technique that you had to use to get an individual under control, once you have gotten that individual under control, release. That's what the law says, release. So if he's in there face down, get up, you go, then I'm gonna come behind you, he can just hit himself. Y'all lay on him for 40 minutes. And so you don't see your officers as killers. I see them as killers. And I see you, the DA, upholding killers in what they've done. They laid on this young man for 40 minutes. They say the guards eventually get control of him, but from time to time, you can see him wiggle. He still, that's a natural reflex. I don't care who you are, law or not the law. It's natural for me to fight back. It's natural for me to resist. When you're trying to restrain me, that's natural. But here's what's not natural: for you to lay on me for 40 minutes. And then you eventually come out. Paramedics come. A couple of days later, he's pronounced deceased. Gets to the hospital, he's placed on life support. Now here's the thing. Black men and black boys, black women and black girls are still being lynched in 2022. They're not using the rope, except for the state of Mississippi. They'll use the rope. Nothing has changed. Jim Crow is still the law of the land. I don't care what has been pulled off the book. It looks good, sounds good to the press, but Jim Crow still exists. This is an individual that has some mental issues. And that has been one of the biggest problems in this country for the last 5 years. You're asking people to come and deal with people who don't know anything about mental illness. He has a badge, he has a gun. Go handle it. This is a mental patient. You can't handle this individual the way you would handle someone who is not classified as someone with mental issues. So you talk to the family, you talk to the press, as if everything's fine. Had he obeyed, he would be alive. No. Had they not laid on him for 40 minutes, the brother would be alive. And then you don't want to talk. I don't give a damn if you never talk to me. I'm still going to tell it like it is. And I'm going to dig harder now because I want to know. I need to know how many times something like this has happened at that facility. I have to know this here because we may find a pattern here. And I promise you, you will. You will find a pattern. They cover up things. You saw the picture of the young man, slim, neatly dressed. On the right side, you saw, and I'm going to call him what the friends and family call him, you saw CJ on life support, laying there, just laying there. All because of officers was entertaining themselves, because officers was pissed off, because officers was embarrassed, because he whooped them. And now it's payback. Lay on it. You got to just sit when this thing ends. I'm serious, sit when this ends. Set your time to 40 minutes and just sit there. Don't do nothing. Just sit there. Just sit there and see how long 40 minutes really is. Especially if you're laying your weight on somebody for 40 minutes. And it's more than one of you laying your weight on this young man. Finally, the guards rolled him over and immediately began CPR. Realizing he is no longer breathing. Within about 20 minutes, the room is full. Firefighters, paramedics. Finally, they get the young man resuscitated. Lofton, CJ, taken to a local hospital, placed on life support after that incident. Doctors officially pronounced him dead 2 days later. Well, I'm curious as to what did the medical examiner say the cause of death was. Homicide. So the word homicide is simple. I didn't kill myself. I didn't kill myself. Somebody in close proximity to me killed me. That's why it says homicide. Now, they will put justifiable homicide in there if they want to, but that doesn't mean it's justifiable. It's just homicide. They are murderers. That's why the title of tonight's show says Cedric Lofton was murdered. He was. You can sugarcoat it every which way you want to. You can pull up any law you want to pull up. Nothing can justify a homicide like this. Stand your ground law, that's out the window, baby. Come on, it's not going to work. You didn't think it would hold up in court. You know why it wouldn't hold up in court? Because you wouldn't let it hold up in court. And I'm so positive about that because you wouldn't charge them. You need to be arrested. You just kill people, kids, and act like everything is normal. I mean, kumbaya moment. They should have did this, they should have did that. Your staff shouldn't have killed him. You can't tell somebody that's autistic or mental issues, bipolar, stop this, stop, don't do this, don't do that, quit it now. But they're not getting that. They're not getting it. They're not getting it. And you are really becoming a threat to them. And they're terrified. So then they're going to resist 100% because that's the way you deal with them. And so they get into that defense mode. They're fighting you because you're fighting them. You're not qualified to deal with that person. But they have people who are qualified to deal with them. But we'll send anybody in there to take care of the situation. And when we do that, this is the end result. We get there. Shortly after, the county released the video on Friday. Its website crashed. It crashed. It crashed. We'll try to get it up as soon as possible. That's what they said. And they eventually got it up. But now here's the thing. What I don't like in cases like this, be mindful now, this is 2022, right? This is 2022. Be mindful that this case happened in 2021, September 24th. Now, let me tell you about technology. Technology is wonderful. It's wonderful, it's awesome. Especially if that's your field. It's something you study. If you crave that, you become an expert in it. You know how to edit things. You can take words that I say tonight and get words I said this time last year from another show and put it into a whole sentence, and it will look as if I'm really saying all of that right now. You're so good at editing, you won't know it's been edited. I have a problem with law enforcement being able to hold on to a dash cam video or body cam video or surveillance cameras as long as they feel the need to hold on to them before they release them to the public. I think those videos should be immediately released. Well, it ain't gonna jeopardize shit. I'm wrong. It will jeopardize your truth. It will jeopardize you, right? The truth will come out because you told us, and we believe you because we've seen this. You said videos don't lie. Videos don't lie. So now we're releasing these in January of 2022. That's always been a problem to me. Miss Hollins, good evening to you. Welcome. She's coming to us from the great state of Mississippi. Pray for you, my child. So I can play with this thing. I can play with it. Or I can show you what I want to show you. And all I got to do is say, well, it's going to jeopardize the case. I don't see that. So, but we're going to be fully transparent. You're fully lying. You're fully lying. As long as people of color, and we're going to get out of here, as long as people of color continue to accept things like this and go about their business, heaven is backing me up. They will continue to happen. And it was probably a good thing that the brother didn't want to talk to me, because if he was going to tell me something super stupid, I was going to go there with him. But you're not talking to a dummy. You can't tell me anything to shut me up. Well, yeah, we can't tell you this and we can't tell you that, and blah, 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 blah. But let's talk about what I can see on that video. And then let's also talk about his mental state. And let's talk about how they handled him, and he is a mental patient. Are they qualified to do? Evidently, they're not. So how many more have to die before you get certified people in there to deal with people who have mental issues? You're late, Miss Benford. You're late. Welcome. Love you, Big Sam. Glad you're here. So we had a guy in Shreveport, Louisiana, Travinsky Odom. I think Miss James did this story with me a few times. He was shot by law enforcement. Over 170 some shots were fired. I'm gonna say it again. Over 170 some shots were fired. The police department lied. They came back. No, it's about 68 shots, and he was only here, I think, like 19 times. We slowed it down, and we counted. And when we went to the candlelight vigil one night, a lady was there. I didn't know we did. Okay, she had done the exact same that we did. She had slowed the thing down, and she counted. I still have Travinsky Odom's file to this day. His father has now moved to California, Mr. Odom. Here's what they did. He shot a relative in the leg, so you know wasn't trying to kill him. He hadn't been too long released from prison, and he had been through some things. There was some money left to him that became a problem that he didn't receive what he should have received. While he was in prison, his mother died. They wouldn't let him go see his mother, and she was still in the state of Louisiana. So, I mean, you know, he got out, his mind wasn't clear. He's running from here to there, and it overtook him. And so when found out he had shot a relative, and he was giving police officers a high-speed chase through different neighborhoods. One relative called and told the 911 dispatcher who they was dealing with. That's Travinsky Odom. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. He's mental, and he's really depressed about his mother being dead, and they wouldn't let him go see his mother. Wouldn't let him go see her body. And the day before they killed him, no, that day, the next day, I'm wrong, was going to be his birthday. Not only that, it gets worse because Mr. Odom, the father, called 911 and told him who his child was. Don't kill him. I don't care if you say he's on a suicide mission. Don't kill him. They killed him. Now, this there's a whole lot to this story, so we don't have time to cover that. But they killed him. But here's my point for bringing up that if I call and I tell the dispatcher, I'm hoping that they relay my message to the responding officers in hopes that they will try to address the situation in a different way. Did they get the message? I don't know. But I do know that they killed him. The worst thing about this is right before he got killed, he called his girlfriend, who was pregnant for him at the time. Miss Pullman, good evening to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Love you big time. Thank you. He called her and he wanted her to talk to him. And he said, I know they're gonna kill me, so I want you to stay on the phone until then. And she said, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna hang up. I'm not gonna do it. This is the girl that's pregnant for him. She's about to have his child, his first child. And she don't want to hear him get killed. She don't want to hear him. Phone hung up. I think she said she waited about 2 minutes. And she called him, and they didn't answer. And she knew he was dead. But we always point the finger at the victim for the second time. We cannot continue to put people in charge that don't have degrees to deal with mental patients. We cannot. They don't see life the way some people do. The slightest infringement could tick them off. I have a dog. His name is Jack. Love him to the ends of the earth. We adopted him a few months ago. I couldn't, when we first got him, it still happens to this day. I couldn't move. I couldn't go nowhere. If I went to the kitchen, here he comes. Bedroom, here he comes. Living room, whatever, outside, wherever, he would come. If I go in there and take a shower, come out, he's sitting right by the door. And I'm like, you got to stop this, stop. I mean, just, you're okay, you're fine. Talk with him. And then there's one day, who trained dogs? He said, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Somebody had him that died and left him. And now he don't want you to do that. And so that's why he acts the way he acts when you move. I can lay down and go to bed, and if I wake up, he looks, he gets up. He gets up. He don't want to be left alone again. And I said that to say this. If I hadn't called, I would probably be fussing at him about running behind me too. I love him, but to give me a break. But I'm like, I remember we picked him up, we got him from the shelter, and he could have been euthanized. And I see myself as his heaven on earth. And we saved him. And so I look at him and I smile sometimes. But if I didn't call, if I didn't get that information, y'all understand what I'm saying, I wouldn't have known how to deal with it. I'd have dealt with it my way, which would have been wrong. When we make some mistakes in life, a lot of the mistakes that we make, we cannot be do-overs. You can't do this one over. You can't. Okay. But here's what makes it worse. When you lie about the deceased, when you lie to the media, when you lie to the family, when you lie to the system about what really happened, and you uphold your men and women in their wrong. And when you do that, they become worse as time goes on because you will back them up even when they're wrong. If you're locked up, you shouldn't be in here. This ain't the Holiday Inn. I know damn well it's not the Holiday Inn, but it shouldn't be Gunsmoke either. But you kill me. And my life means nothing to you. Good evening, Angela. Love you big time. My life means nothing to you. I understand. I understand. And I will. I love you big time, Bradford. Thank you. You know, I'm gonna try. And I'm gonna try to preach. I'm preaching like a Philly because it bothers me that if you don't like us, then you don't like us. That don't bother me. But what bothers me is that you don't like me because of my color. And that wasn't my doing. You need to talk to Jesus. That's who you need to be upset with, not me. But everybody is somebody's child. Whether that child is wrong or right, that's still somebody's child. And would you want your relatives being treated like that if they happen to get on the wrong side? Well, my folks ain't gonna do that. They obey the law. Sometimes you can obey the law and still have your ass locked up. Better yet, killed. Don't make it worse by lying to the people. Because here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. When you have to investigate an incident like this, and you're from the outside, and you do it with great diligence, you're thorough with it. Here's what happened a lot of times. That one investigation in that department leads to another investigation in another department. And then it becomes a domino effect. And now, we're going to be here a while, so grab a Snickers. Because they're going to get to hiding reports, disciplinary actions and stuff, throwing them out the window, erasing stuff from the. They're covering up a crime and committing another crime to cover up that crime. Most people have been doing wrong for so long. They now think the wrong they do is right. So when I mistreat you, when I beat you, I enter a thought in my mind that you made me do it. You shouldn't have been here. You should have did what I asked you to do. And that's sad. It's sad, but it's the gospel. And I wanted you all to see that brother on life support right before he died. I don't care who didn't show the picture. I wanted to show it to you. And everything I was thinking about this old crooked jail is coming true. It's coming true. I don't give a damn if you never speak to me, but I think you ought to have some professionalism about yourself when someone calls you with a question, whether they're with the media or just a civilian. They want to ask you something, you in charge, but you want to hang up. And I'm the wrong person that you want to hang up on, because I do this all day, every day. I will get to digging up stuff on you that you forgot about. He went there, if you're wondering, because they called to come and calm him down. It's out of control. Nothing new. He's done that before. And a lot of times when you call the police or whoever you call to come out to try to calm this individual down, it's probably going to be the same officers that come out. And if so, then that can be good because they know the situation. And even if this individual comes out with a gun or a knife or some weapon in their hand, it may be a new officer pulls their revolver. You got to put it down. Put that down. Put down. Let me do this. And he goes over there and he walks up, and the man still has the weapon in his hand, but he know he ain't gonna do nothing because they have a relationship together. Give it to him. Give it to him. That's just patience and love and understanding. Once they got CJ in his cell, I've been to prison. I've been there. been on lockdown. I know how it goes. And I know law. Once they got in that cell, again, he was 100% under their control. So what was their next move? The law states, as I opened with, whatever technique, method you use to control someone, to restrain them, once that has happened, release! And you come out. Come out. Come out. Or maybe because he had whooped both of them so bad he whooped their glasses off, they were scared if we tried to get up, he gonna whoop us again. So we just gonna lay on him. Spoolen says, and that is very toxic behavior. It's very toxic. And that toxic behavior, it becomes contagious. It becomes contagious. My friend Beverly said that part. It becomes contagious. I share a lot of stuff from civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump. But for the past 3 months, oh my God, it's like a new case every 12 hours. And the majority of the time, it's us. It's us. Now, how do you tell family that their 7-year-old child will not be getting out of jail? At least not to come home. We killed him. The medical examiner said, cause of death, homicide. Now I want you to remember one thing before we leave out here. I'm glad the medical examiner told the truth. Because a lot of times the medical examiner will side with the police. And so they will fix it up in the officer's favor. Well, he has drugs in his system and that contributed to his heart stopping. So it wasn't a bullet to his chest. No, wasn't a bullet. Man, ever see a beating him, been check moving out of drugs. They would do that. They do it a lot. You may not believe that, but they do it a lot. And so just like the police, I don't believe anything a cop says. You have to prove it to me. I don't believe anything a medical examiner. I need you to prove it to me. Tell me how you derived it. Tell me how you get it. Strange fruit still hang from the trees today. They still do. When we did the story on Emmett Till, and we're coming back this week with that, and we talked about Callum Bryan, who I believe, I don't care if she's on life support, I don't care if she has a piece of lip, I don't care if she is on oxygen, I don't care if she has 1 hour and 30 minutes left to live, she needs to be inside of a jail cell rotting until the day her heart stops beating. If there is not a statute of limitations on murder, it should not be a statute of limitations on a lie that caused the murder. And then you have the audacity to now say, I lied. And the two men, Raw, JW, we did it. Well, you can't arrest them and they know it. It's double jeopardy. So you got an admission from all three. One still living, go get her. She says, and I'm paraphrasing, she says, nothing that boy did deserved what happened to him. First of all, his name is not Boy, his name is Emmett Till. His name is Emmett Till. His name is Emmett Till. So my response to that is that nothing the system does can justify why you not inside of a jail cell dying. Let's protect our own. Let's protect our own. Cover it up. He touched me. He grabbed me. If he whistled, you know why he whistled? He stuttered, and his mother told him when he was nervous or couldn't get a word out to whistle. So when one of the boys asked him what did he buy, he had bought some bubble gum. So we're thinking when he was trying to say bubble gum, it came across as maybe baby, and it went from there. So as far as I'm concerned, whether she was there when the killing happened, she still should be locked up. She killed him. She signed his death certificate. She did. But the strange thing about Carolyn Bryant's story is that it's not over. This happens every day still. When a white person lies on a person of color. And they do that because it's their entertainment. It's their entertainment. I'm trying to, she said, talk. It's their form of entertainment. When the niggas was in the cotton field, and the white man wanted to giggle, wanted to have a little fun. Have a little fun. Hey, Clay! Hey, that old color boy up here and coming in, singing one of those songs that niggas be singing. Yeah, and bring them two big dudes in. Rod, yeah, bring them. I want to see them fight one another and stuff. And they do that. And they would do that. And the white man would sit and giggle. That was entertainment for the white man. Y'all think I'm lying? That was entertainment for the white man. So how did we get here? We got here because we have too many blacks killing blacks, and they're not focusing on other people killing us. They don't need our help killing us. They're good at that. They get an A+ in that. You are becoming entertainment for the white man. Today, when you act up, he still giggles. He still giggles. When prosecutors will not uphold law enforcement, prison guards accountable for their criminal activity, well, that's an app for that. We can fix that tonight. You don't want to hold them accountable, so you must go. That stand your ground law ain't gonna get it, baby. It's not gonna get it. And so since we know that we have to be the one to make sure they're held accountable, then we must do that. But we need more soldiers on board to help us with this. But guess what? We're losing them because they're killing each other. If you want to say, well, they're still trying to do population control, well, damn it, you helping them, because in a minute won't be one, maybe 5 Negroes on the planet, because you're killing one another. You must stop putting yourselves in predicaments that cause you to be offended and have to grab a gun and go and get somebody because they done got you or got over on you. Hang on and pump me out. That's mine. I own it. You don't own that. That's my set. That's not your set. My dear been on that street for 52 years. If anybody want to say that's they said, my dear can say that. They ain't y'all, you know. So you must stop putting yourselves in certain predicaments that will cause you to go to prison or have to kill someone and then sit there and look stupid and ask, well, what y'all think you're gonna do? Oh, I don't know if it's gonna be a man or a woman come out there with something black on and they're gonna talk to you. All I'm trying to say, we're gonna go, is that if we can raise hell when someone opposite of our color hurts us, why we don't do the same for black on black crime? Why we don't go to Walmart and get a poster board and a black permanent marker and say no justice, no peace until you lock real black up? I tell you why. Black lives don't matter. When it comes to black on black crime, it don't matter. Now, it matters to some black people when someone white kills somebody black. No, we're not going to take that. They're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. I got to get out of here. I'm supposed to be here this long. Good Lord Jesus. But anyway, we'll make an announcement sometime tomorrow when we will do the other 17 videos. We may do 2 or 3 a day. I don't know. Maybe one of the nights. I love you big time too, and I thank you for your compliments there. I appreciate your support and you all watching this live feed. If you like what we're doing, you like what it said, she just share the video. That's all you got to do. And remember, I'm not always right, and you are not always wrong. I'm out Sky with the Justice Investigation. Y'all enjoy your evening.